Why do you think this is a good option? You mentioned a few things prior, about in regards to, having a bit more money in the bank,
Right.
your buildup of skills because you're an adult over 50. What are some other things that come to mind in your experience too, working with adults over 50, that this has really worked for them?
Well, some other things that have worked for them is, this is some of the things that we walk through in our process, is really kind of stepping back, thinking about who you are, what you want, where you want to go. And that sort of opens up their thinking in where they want to go forward. And then it kind of opens their mind to think, okay, I was thinking food was an option, but now maybe I can do something else. So they're learning a little bit about themselves, a direction to go in. And then once they start talking to franchisors, I think they're either pleasantly surprised with ones that they didn't think they were going to like because they're really liking the people that are running it at corporate, or they really like the business model and they can see themselves in something that they never thought they could see themselves owning, or the ones that they thought they were going to like. It didn't at all. It really didn't have the structure, the business model sets to it that really spoke to them. So I think it really kind of surprises people when they start looking at franchise as an option. That doesn't necessarily mean that they end up purchasing a franchise, but I think they do learn a little bit about themselves and things that we look at. We do a Myers-Briggs personality test. That is something that we look at so that we can make sure we match them up with the right concepts. Some of them are surprised by their answers. Some of them say, oh my gosh, I've gotten the same 4-letter score for years. So it's kind of different, interesting to work with all the different clients and what they're looking to do.
Yeah, I love hearing you talking about that. It can be kind of a longer process. It's really a decision process. It's you're not going to be making a choice in 30 days, and you're not going to push them to making a choice in 30 days. It really is. You're looking at this long term. It's a new career position, but there are a lot of other pieces to this puzzle that are in consideration. It's not just you wanting to buy the franchise, but it's also the franchise or saying, yeah, you're cool. I like you. I want you to have that in that market.
You just tapped into something that is huge that I really like to lay down on the table from the beginning, is the idea that you're being awarded a franchise. I think a lot of people come in with the idea that, hey, I have this big net worth. I'm going to choose which franchise I want. And it doesn't take into the thought that maybe the franchisor doesn't think you're a good fit. It is a two-way street. And so really what I like to tell people is that no decisions are being made. We're simply looking. We're simply educating ourselves on the business model. And I think that removes some pressure. I usually like to make a funny comparison, add a little comedy to it. I think that relaxes people a little bit into thinking a little differently, take some of the pressure off. But if you think of it like dating, then we're just casually dating. You're just casually dating the franchise system. No one is serious. You're not, they're not. And so you could be dating a few different franchisor systems and learning about their business model. And here's another key point is that it's not my place, nor am I legally allowed, or any franchise consultant. We are not allowed to go through all of the details of the business model with the client. That is the franchisor's job. So that is why we are the matchmakers. We help people understand. We take a lot of the time and the research out of their hands and we do it. So we're like executive headhunters. And then we will present to them based upon their skill sets, their interest level, their net worth, how much they're comfortable investing, their goals, and of course their geographic territory, what is available to them. And we will match them up, have them choose the ones they want to start speaking with, and they can begin investigating. No decisions are being made. Everyone's casually dating, but this is the only way to learn about this business. And then the franchisor will start informing them about all of those details people want to know about. And you're not wasting anybody's time by doing that. And that's why I use the casually dating, perspective. So you're learning about marketing. You're learning about how much the all-in is, how much you can make, how much the IT is, how much the royalties are, any real estate, how they go about real estate and finding the right location, and on the demographics and how you choose it from there. So that's some of the biggest thing is that process. And that's another thing that I like to tell people, that process that I'm trying to have you do with the franchisor in the beginning is telling the franchisor if you can go through a process. Because if you can't do it in the interview stage, you may not be able to do it in the business owner stage. And so that will tell them if they want to offer you a franchise.
Well, it sounds like you have the best interests of both parties in mind. The person that's looking to be awarded a franchise as well as a franchisor. If you don't, you really can't succeed either by continuing on with what you're doing. Yeah.
Right. And I like to tell people, since I've been on their side of the phone call at that point, I've been in their shoes. I'm not trying to pressure anybody, but I will be very transparent with them. I will ask them a few challenging questions. It's almost, instead of encouraging them to buy the franchise, it's almost making sure you want to do this because here's the pros and cons. Here's what's going to happen. And if they keep passing through and understanding that, yes, I want to do this. Yes, this is a good fit. Then they won't look back and have any regrets on that.